Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the What a Deck profile for the Mecha Phantom Beast Advantage deck. I'm just going to go through real quick and show everything in the deck, and then I'll explain how it works together. So we've got 3 Mecha Phantom Beast Mega Raptor, 3 Mecha Phantom Beast Hardleg, 3 Tether Wolf, 1 Colt Wing, 3 Black Falcon, 3 Blue Impala, 1 Stealth Ray, 3 Beast O-Lion, 2 Fiend Sanctuary, 3 Token Sunday, 1 Foolish Burial, 3 Draw Muscle, 2 Fires of Doomsday, 3 Scapegoat, 3 Void Expansion, and 3 Spiritual Wind Dart. And then for the extra deck, we've got 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Badass. I don't know how to pronounce that. Jeklu. I don't know. Someone can tell me. We got 1 Dark Strike Fighter. We've got 2 Concordia. We've got a Powered Insectatron. 1 Sky Palace Gangardia. 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. 2 Draco Sack. 1 number 11 Big Eye. 1 Gear Gigan X. 1 Castell the Sky Blaster Musketeer. 1 Lightning Chidori. And 1 Wind Up Zenmaines. And then as for the side deck, as always, most of these are kind of other options, things to think about. The main ones is Colt Wing would actually, I'd probably suggest everything that you play one of, the Stealth Ray and the Colt Wing, I would recommend playing more of in the side deck and then swapping out depending on what your opponent's playing. Mini Guts, no, that's not a side deck card, never mind. If they're doing a lot of spell traps and stuff, do a barrel roll is a good thing. It tributes all your Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, but sometimes if you really need to negate something, you really need to negate something. And Great Horn of Heaven, probably take out some of these tokens. Great Horn of Heaven, just a decent card all around. So the basic thing with this deck is just to get card advantage over your opponent. Basically how you do that, all these Mecha Phantom Beasts have effects that they activate with tokens. The main 2 are Mega Raptor and Hardleg. I don't know. Harrelard? These I can't get these names, but whatever. So him, you can tribute 1 token and add 1 Mecha Phantom Beast from your deck to your hand. Him, you can tribute 1 token to special summon a Mecha Phantom Beast from your deck to your hand. And then in addition to that, they all have this has the effect that when another card's effect is activated by tributing a monster, you can special summon a token. And this says when another monster special summons a token, special summon a token. So these 2 can start like a sort of infinite loop where by activating their effects, you're summoning tokens that are fodder for the other effects, and you can add any of these and then special summon them in the same turn. Tether Wolf summons a token when he's summoned, and you can tribute that token during any of the tokens during the battle step when he's attacking to give him 800 attack. That'll bump him up to 2500, which you can get over most basic things. And again, there's some synergy with them. So he's like sort of your big beater. He's also helps put out tokens if you don't have any. Colt Wing, when he's special summoned, you can get 2 tokens, and you contribute 2 tokens to destroy and banish 1 card your opponent controls. So this is for getting rid of big boss monsters and stuff like that, or getting rid of pendulum zones, just banishing things. Always really good. Blue Impala is your tuner, your main tuner. He's level 3, and you can synchro with him and Mecha Phantom Beasts in your hand, but you can only synchro machine monsters, which is why we don't have a whole lot of synchros. The ones we do have are machines. He's also good because if he gets sent to the graveyard and you control no monsters, you can banish him to summon a token. So he's token fodder. What was it? Stealth Ray. Stealth Ray is tribute a token, destroy spell traps. So if they've got mostly monsters, you get Colt Wing. If they have mostly spell traps, you do Stealth Ray. If you're doing matches, you want to side one of these out for a copy of the other one, whichever your opponent runs more of. Your other token is Lion-O. He's level 2. He doesn't have the same restrictions. If you wanted to run a more synchro-based deck, you could. I prefer the Ixies. I'm just an Ixie kind of guy, but you can do more stuff with him. This is probably the better of the 2 tuners. When he's sent to the graveyard, you summon a token. which is always good, and that activates even if you use like Foolish Burial on him. Most of the time you're going to be using Foolish Burial on him. You can also banish him from your graveyard to gain another normal summon of a Mecha Phantom Beast. So you can use him to get both of these guys out in one turn, which is always good. The sort of odd man out here is Black Falcon. Black Falcon is, when he attacks, he gets a token. So, I forgot to mention that all the Mecha Phantom Beasts, except for the tuners, oh no, even the tuners. So all the Mecha Phantom Beasts have an additional effect that says, while you control a token, these can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So what makes this guy kind of good is he can attack, he'll summon a token, and even if whatever he's attacking is bigger than him, because the token comes out before damage calculation, he'll survive. So that's a way to get tokens on the field to use for effects, and just keeping board presence. This deck doesn't special summon a lot. You have to rely on your normal summon, and then you survive by keeping tokens on the field so they can't be destroyed. There's also how we get these big Ixies out. All the non-tuner Mecha Phantom Beasts have the effect that they gain the levels of all the Mecha Phantom Beast tokens on the field, and every token that the Mecha Phantom Beast summons is level 3. So you've got all these 4s, and you get 3s, so they become level 7, which is how you can make Draco Sack, Flare Metal Dragon, Big Eye, just 2 of these plus a token. If you get 2 tokens out, they become level 10. That's how you get Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon and Sky Palace. So there's a whole lot of options. Obviously, if you just keep them level 4, you have access to rank 4s, including Lightning Chidori, because these are all wind. So it's all just about, it's about keeping them out, keeping the tokens, wasting your opponent's resources, which you do just by having the tokens there. The tokens, like, they'll try to destroy your stuff. A lot of times you can summon these Fires of Doomsday tokens with a Scapegoat. Because these are quick play, you special summon them during your opponent's turn, and they prevent your monsters from being destroyed. Or in the case of Scapegoat, you can just stall forever because they have to attack 4 different monsters. And if you can keep just one, you're good. You can't normal summon or special summon the same turn that you use these, so you almost always want to set them and then use them during your opponent's turn. And then for added defense, we have Draw Muscle, which is target a defense monster you control with 1,000 or less defense. Draw 1 card, that monster can't be destroyed by battle. So, in addition to just being draw power, because you have so many tokens, like, you can use this on any of your tokens, because all your tokens have 0 defense. And you can just use that on your turn for extra draws, or you can set this along with Scapegoat, if they have a whole bunch of monsters, and then make one of your tokens undestroyable by battle that turn. So then next turn when it comes around, if you got this, you can use this effect, special summon, and just start a chain. Of course, what was it? Coltwing summons 2 tokens when he's special summoned. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. It's kind of late at the moment. I apologize. So, but he does that when he's special summoned. So if you use Harlan's effect to special summon him, you get the 2 tokens, and you can use the 2 tokens for his effect. So it all works out right. All nice. The remaining things we have: Token Sunday. Really underrated card. Destroy all tokens you control, then destroy cards on the field up to the number of tokens destroyed. This destroys, but it does not target. And, of course, if you have just Scapegoat in this, that's 2 cards to destroy 4 cards. That can wipe out your opponent's, like, entire field. Or you could always just sort of, like, summon like 3 tokens, use one of their effects, and then use this to destroy 2 cards. Just shuffle it around, find different ways. But this is a pretty good card, just for getting rid of pretty much anything. And then I'm also playing Void Expansion. During your standby phase, this summons a Infernoid token. And you can use that for Infernoid stuff. It really doesn't matter. It's just, it summons a token every turn. There's a Mecha Phantom Beast trap that summons a token during each player's end phase. But, it's once per turn, summon a Mecha Phantom Beast token. But during each player's end phase, you have to tribute a token to keep it on the field. Those have the advantage of being Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, which give them levels and stuff like that. These don't give them levels, but they still defend them. They still can be used to tribute for effects. So just getting a free token every turn, pretty good. If you were going to side anything out to make this faster, though, this is probably be what you want, this kind of a slower card. This is more, because these games tend to be long and drawn out, this becomes pretty good, because you can just get a continuing resource of tokens. Spiritual Wind Art, also really good. Tribute a wind monster, select one card your opponent controls, place it on the bottom of the deck. Normally this card wouldn't be good because it would be a minus, but because all your tokens are wind, you can pretty much just summon Tether Wolf, get a token, and then use that token to send something back to the deck. And then if they try to kill Tether Wolf, you just use one of these tokens, special summon. So really that's what this is about, using tokens to mitigate cost when things would otherwise take cost. Likewise, I've got in the side deck is some options like Enemy Controller, just as good. Because you have to tribute monsters, you can use most of these tokens. Yeah, these tokens can't be tributed for tribute summon, but they can be tributed for monster effects, and they can be tributed for spell effects. So they work out great. I'm sure there's a couple other. Monster Gate I put in here because tribute one monster, and then pick up cards until you get one of these guys and summon it. Probably really good. As general rule, I don't like to play cards that you can only have one of. I mean, I got this, but this isn't like essential to the deck. I didn't want to rely on this. Let's see, what else do we got here? I mean, everything else, it's just all different options. You could replace this with any. None of these are like essential to the deck. You probably want to play some Draco Sacs. You probably want to play at least one of him, because if you can synchro summon him, his effect is tribute all the tokens you have on the field and make your opponent discard cards up to the number of tokens. And then when he's destroyed, you can set one quick play spell directly from your deck. So if you can get him out while you have a couple tokens, you can just completely decimate their hand. And then if he's destroyed, you can get your Scapegoat or your Doomsday or Draw Muscle, whatever you happen to need at the moment. Oh yeah, Fiend Sanctuary. I forgot about this guy. So this guy only summons one token, whereas Fires of Doomsday summons 2 and Scapegoat summons 4. But he's the only one you can summon this token and then summon again that turn. So that's why I have him. He's good for, if you want a faster deck, use this. If you want a more defensive deck, you want to use Scapegoat and Fires of Doomsday. This token also has an effect that if your opponent attacks that token, they will take damage equal, or they will take the damage. The token has 0 attack and defense. So if they take any damage, it'll still be destroyed. If they don't attack it, you take 1,000 damage during your standby phase. So in real life, probably not as good of a card because your opponent will probably read that or figure it out. But online, where people will just attack into a 0 attack point token without realizing it, this is pretty good. And then just the side deck real quick. This guy, I didn't run this guy at first because, well, he has 2100 attack, pretty good, but he can't attack your opponent directly. And if you have your monster in your graveyard that isn't a Mecha Phantom Beast, he can't attack at all. So once you get some of your extra deck stuff in there, he just can't be used for attack. And then he doesn't generate a token. So I didn't want to keep him in there. You could probably switch him out for Black Falcon. I don't know why I call him Blackfoot. Black Falcon. It would be almost as good. His big thing is that you can banish stuff from the target, or banish stuff from the graveyard by attributing a token. So if your opponent's running a graveyard-heavy thing, pardon me, he might be a good side deck option. Here's another level 6 machine-type monster who can keep summoning himself from the graveyard. Just another option if you don't want Zectatron or if you're doing a more synchro-heavy deck. If you're not worried about playing in the TCG, I wanted to try to keep it to stuff you could actually buy. So I didn't keep this guy in there, but you can make this guy because you can make rank 10s. Morphine, I already explained most of those. Upstart Goblin, if you wanted to make this deck faster, I think you could stand to put him in here, because this deck doesn't OTK. It's not about attack, it's not about life points. It's just about keeping up more cards than your opponent and keeping the card advantage. So if you wanted to make it faster and just have more stuff and keep that advantage, that would work. Mini Guts, another good card, can give it some more OTK protection, and sort of like Enemy Controller, it's one of those cards that usually sucks because you have to tribute a monster, but because you have so many tokens, it becomes more... you can make an attack of an enemy 0, and if that monster is destroyed, they take damage equal to its original attack. So just massive amounts of damage if you wanted to do a more attack-based version of this. Sonic Boom, again, you can target one Mecha Phantom Beast this turn. Its original attack is doubled, and it's unaffected by the effects of other spell traps, and if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. But during the end phase, destroy all machine-type monsters you control, and other monsters you control can't attack. So this is kind of like limiter removal, but it only affects one Mecha Phantom Beast, and it'll destroy everything during the end phase. Again, if you're going for a more OTK-oriented deck, this plus Mini Guts, awesome. Almost went with it. I like this one a little bit better. Aerial Recharge sucks. I put it here just to remind you not to play it. This works much better in just about every regard. Likewise, Hippo Carnival seems kind of decent because it summons 3 tokens, but while those tokens are on the field, you can't summon from the extra deck. Yeah, they can. Oh, sorry about that. They cannot be tributed, period. So don't use Hippo Carnival because you can't use it to activate their effects. And then, yeah, I think that covers just about everything. So there's your What a Deck profile for this week. Next week, something a little different. Until then, good luck. Have fun.